Today we talk about getting your haircut with a pyramid schemer and the amount of binging we do in our everyday lives. If you want to take part in the discussion, you could reach us on our Instagram, Twitter, or on our suggestion forum at tiltednotsir.com. Enjoy.
Hello, my name is Edwin.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Frantic.
And together we are Tilted Not Stirred. So what has you guys tilted today? What have you guys been up to?
So, for the first time in well over a year, I went to go get a haircut. That was nice.
Oh yeah, dude.
Feel...
It's looking clean, dude.
Ooh, thank you.
I got a haircut 2 weeks ago, and there was a man there selling everybody on Primerica.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Did you join?
Yeah. He asked me what I was getting my haircut for, and I told him I was going to a job interview, and he told me I could be my own boss, that I was wasting my time, that he worked his own hours. He was, he had a company working underneath him of 50 people.
Yeah, hey, Edwin,
Yeah.
I'm not going to join your team. Leave me alone. I don't need you to sell me on this vision.
Frantic, you could be your own boss, Frantic. I don't know what you're doing, when you could be making money.
I'm just a lowly
Yeah.
podcaster.
Those people are serious, man. He told me he had 3 Ferraris, and then I was like, "Oh, what are you driving? What's outside right now?" "Oh, it's my wife's car." And I was like, "Convenient."
Yeah, his Ferraris are in the shop, bro. All 3 of them.
Yeah, convenient, man. But yeah, these people. I mean, it's always hilarious when a random a fringe homie from way back in the day, they hit you up and they say, "Hey, you want to catch up and go get breakfast or something?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah!" And you get there and they come up with their fucking blinders. They're dressed to the 9, and they're like, "Have you heard of this opportunity called Primerica?" And you're like, "Bitch, fuck off, man." I've been there. It's happened to me twice. I ain't even gonna lie.
I went to one of those meetings years ago, and man, I could not. The hype was real, and I totally understand what they're selling. I ended up going to a few more just for the inspirational talks, because these people are like larger than life. And I'm just like, oh, let's see what.
Hashtag power couple.
Yeah, I want to just see what they have to say. I might get something out of it. For me, I haven't really been doing as much as I probably should be doing. I mostly just been working on the podcast, spending time with my lady, and yeah.
All right.
That's great. I'm getting ready to a trip to Santa Cruz. We're gonna go see the UC. My girlfriend's brother. He is debating going to Santa Cruz, so we're gonna go up there and check it out. It's gonna be nice.
Oh, yeah, school's open up
real
again.
nice.
It's not online anymore.
Well, I mean, he has to. I mean, he's from the Palm Desert area, so he's not gonna. You'd have to move yourself over there, so it's gonna be that kind of thing.
I have a couple of friends that went up to Santa Cruz, and I mean, they had nothing but good things to say.
Yeah, hopefully it's nice. I definitely want to check out the area, see what kind of restaurants, and I have a feeling that it's gonna be like a ultra hipster place. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great for me.
Damn,
Wait,
hipsters.
Santa Cruz is the party school, no?
Thought that was Santa Barbara.
Ah, okay.
Santa
my bad,
Barbara,
my
I
bad.
think.
Got
Yeah.
confused.
But yeah, speaking of partying and living a life of excess, I wanted to talk to you guys about binging today. That's something that was been on my mind. Do you guys, what forms of binging do you guys partake in your lives? Would you say?
All kind, man. I got YouTube videos. Every time a new season for a show I watch drops, I'll watch that. If there's like some movies that I'm into, snacks, I'm bad at snacking. And yeah, when I get the inspiration, sometimes I'll just churn out like 6 graphic novels. And I'll be like, yeah.
Okay, let's go by categories then. Since you mentioned categories, it'd be a better suited podcast to go by categories. How about shows? Is there shows that you reminisce about that you binged a lot? You know, that's all you could do for days on end?
I wouldn't say days on end, but I do have these phases. Every now and then, I gotta churn out to watch through a Scrubs. You know, it's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I used to do it.
I did not watch Scrubs.
I recommend it. It's good.
Yeah,
I used to do a yearly watch of Scrubs as well.
The show that I really held out on and ended up binging was Game of Thrones. I know, Edwin, you kept telling me, yo, you gotta watch this show. I think it was season 4 was about to start, and you're like, dude, we'll watch all of it and we'll get you caught up. And I finally gave in. We watched the first 3 seasons in like a week?
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't really feel like binging since it was me and you, and we kind of just hung out the whole time.
We're already doing that anyway, but that was probably the most binging I've ever done in my life. I usually try not to, but for shows in particular, it was just that.
Well, I mean, for me, there was a particularly dark period that I have with Breaking Bad. I think it was somewhere in the summer of freshman to sophomore year of my college life. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those times where I felt myself kind of losing myself to something, which was Breaking Bad at that point, where I'd wake up, start a show, and then all of a sudden it's 2 a.m. and I hadn't showered and I hadn't eaten. I hadn't done anything other than lay around in the bed and just watched it.
Yikes, man.
It was really, it's dark, it's depressing, it's sad. I never want to go back there, but it's one of those things that binging, you can easily lose yourself in, and yeah.
You were in the abyss.
I was in the darkness, man. Those 0 days.
Have you ever reached that point,
0 weeks?
No.
Where you just realize, like, a whole week passed. Where'd that week go? And you realize you were just watching something.
Never with a show. Definitely with, like, gaming. But
okay.
I don't really count that because it was with the homies. So, like, back in high school when I would play till, like, 6 a.m. Call of Duty. But I was with, like, 4 other people. So it didn't... That was just good times. I was just socializing with the squad, with the friends.
But you could binge with other people, though. It's not a solitary thing.
Yeah, but I feel like I never got to the point where I would skip a meal and skip a shower. I would always be like, all right, I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna go get my shower, grab a bowl of cereal. And it was great because we'd all fucking grab a bowl of cereal at the same time. So we'd just have a game. We'd still be playing, funny enough, but we'd be munching on our cereal in between deaths and kills.
Okay. Hey, but is it considered binging if you're hanging out with your friends?
I would say alcohol, binging at a party.
But that's a solitary action.
Yeah.
That you partake
what
with.
Is, maybe we need to define what binging is. Is there a criteria?
Bust a Webster's?
If you're hanging out with your friends, let's say that y'all go out, let's say at noon, because you guys went to the beach, for example, and you guys spend the entire day together, is that binging?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think you can binge socializing.
So if you're playing a video game online and you're hanging out with your friends, is that binging?
Well, here, okay. Actually, Merriam-Webster defines binging as an unrestrained and often excessive indulgence. There you go.
Unrestrained and what was the other one?
Excessive indulgence. Yeah.
So the beach example would be binging if you were a beach bum and you were there all the time.
Yeah, if you're in California, bro. But like, if you live in the beach and say you live like in Santa Monica and you go to the beach every day, is that binging? That's kind of just your life.
Well, I mean,
point. You're in a beach city.
Being at the beach, you have to do something at the beach, right? So it's not like you go to the beach, but being at the beach itself is not the activity. You do something at the beach. You swim, you read,
you surf, bro.
I don't know. You hang loose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess because binging has been connected with just watching shows or indulging in entertainment nonstop. But
it could also
I guess
be
you
food,
could also binge other things then.
Yeah. Anything that is excessive indulgence, is considered binging. So do you guys want to movies, games? I had already spoken about the time that I watched The Lord of the Rings for 12 hours straight in an earlier podcast. That was a form of binging that, it wasn't an entire week. It wasn't something crazy, but it definitely was, 12 hours of my life I probably would never get back, but I enjoyed them and it happened.
All right. Well, if we're talking about forgetting to eat, when I first started playing Civ, I definitely blinked and it was like 5 hours later. I'm like, oh shit, I should get something to eat.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what happens to me with YouTube at night when I'm supposed to be asleep. And one video after another, before I realize it, it's 4 or 5 in the morning. And then I think to myself, you know what? I got to do better. Tomorrow I'll go to sleep early. And same thing. I'm there at 4 in the morning thinking to myself, how did I get here?
What's your YouTube advice? You got to let the people know.
The channels I like watching are, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Abba and Preach, where there's these two homies that like to just talk about social stuff and reaction. They react to videos.
Teenagers react to.
Yeah, and then
you like
really
those.
good. And then the other one is like Asmongold, or sometimes I watch podcasts on YouTube, just because the video components, I enjoy that.
I got into repair videos for video game consoles.
Oh,
yeah,
no, it's kind of nice.
What I like to do is they're 20 minutes long, so I play them at double speed. Because he never says anything anyway, so I'm just like, "Fuck yeah, cool."
When I discovered when I discovered the double speed function, I'm like, "Oh man, these how-to videos are so much better."
You could binge anything. I just recently binged Mark Rebier's YouTube, which is a guy who improvises music, and he's really entertaining while he's doing it. So it's kind of what I was doing.
Guy that you shared his YouTube video with me on the text message. Now that was interesting because he was very similar to Reggie Watts, one of our other friends who's obsessed with Reggie Watts. And Reggie Watts on his videos or his performances, he's creating a beat live. And so this guy that you shared with me, he combined that with and being less weird than Reggie Watts. So for me, it was a lot more consumable.
I was about to say, I don't remember Edwin being a fan of Reggie Watts.
Yeah, no,
he
was weird.
Funny enough, Reggie Watts and Mark Rebier have a session that they did together, which is they're exactly the same type of person, but they have different styles, and they both did a session where they both went at it. It was pretty great.
Very nice.
Yeah, like for me, the things that I cannot binge are books. I recommend all these books and stuff. I read them, but there's always an emptiness and a sadness that goes with finishing a book. The same way I feel about finishing a really great video game, that I just put down the media for a little bit. Like for when I finished The Witcher 3, the video game, I didn't play video games for like a week or two. It was just one of those things that it was so good that I was just, I don't know what to call it. I have no clue what it's called. But the same thing happens to me with books, where I just put it down and I say I'm not going to read for a bit. I'll come back to pick up another novel, but it's never straight through.
Yeah,
I can never binge these two mediums.
I haven't really thought about this, but I think I'm the same way with movies. I think the reason why I don't watch many movies is because when I watch one and it was really good and I get really immersed into it and I finish the movie and I'm really thinking about the message and all that kind of stuff. it fills me, and then I don't really feel like watching another movie for a while.
It's interesting hearing you guys talk about this, because I guess this is the binging mentality. When I watch something, I don't really delve too deep into the meaning. I just like to sit down, turn my brain off, watch what's in front of me, and just kind of enjoy the ride. So I do read books in excess. Like when it comes to like Batman graphic novels, I'll finish one, move on to the next one, and then just kind of chain through a few at a time. Or if I'm on like a movie craze, say I want to watch some gangster movies, I'll be like, all right, let's watch The Godfather and The Departed, and so on and so forth.
So then I guess there's levels to this.
Yeah.
And so I guess that goes into a little bit of what is binging doing to us? Is it a positive to be constantly looking for that high? Does it make us better or worse? What do you think?
Is it a high person? I mean, I feel like people binge not for the sense of satisfaction, but for the sense of just to pass the time. At least that's how I view it sometimes. It's just for the sake of entertainment. I don't have anything to do right now, so I'm just like, hell, fuck it, I'll just watch some show or.
Okay.
Here's what I was going. We were talking about.
What was the last question you asked, Ryan?
I said that if binging, that there's levels to this, and then binging, if it's good to be searching for that new high, does it make us better or worse?
Got you. Okay, that's what I want to. Well, for me is that there's always information to be had on the internet, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I do regularly, I think I've done it since I discovered the website way back in college, was when I first was introduced to Reddit. You can curate it to say to your different like categories and stuff, and you have a curated list of things that interest you, and those things could be anything, right? So when I do this, or I start intaking a bunch of information, and I end up being the did you know guy, and it's one of those things that I stopped being.
Actually,
yeah,
goalkeeper's peak at 40.
That was one of those things. Yeah, he still shit on me. But anyways, it was one of those things that I stopped myself doing in recent times, where I'm like, okay, if I know something, hold on to it until it's fully researched 100%, and you're not saying something that you read somewhere, you know? And but it's also one of those things that you do learn a lot by just going through your feed of whatever, right? Because right now kids are doing TikTok.
Right.
And that's a curated algorithm that can hone in on the things that you are interested in within hours. And then by the next day you are in. And that's why it's like so scary to me to even consider making a TikTok.
Yeah,
you know?
My lady has a TikTok, and there's no time wasted. If we're hanging out and we're not talking and nothing's really going on, that's the first thing she does. Yeah, I'm right? outing her right now, but
but it's one of those things that it's as soon as she opens it, something that she likes or is interested in is gonna
immediately she's engaged. And so I wonder, so like the algorithms are that good, or is there something innate in us, like as humans, that we're like, are we being preyed upon by the algorithm because there's something there?
I would say so, because that's the whole point of, like, Netflix has the algorithm, right? The point is to keep your ass in the chair, to keep you hooked on the website, to keep pumping advertisements at you. I'm guessing in TikTok's case, I don't know, I've never opened the app. And for YouTube, it's, you know, you want to keep a constant stream of good entertainment so you can keep subscribing and keep you watching it.
Yeah, stay on the
website,
stay on the
What
app.
is it that makes us obsessive then? I haven't really thought about. I understand binge watching and the kind of like the feelings that it could produce, but why are we doing it?
I guess what keeps us hooked is the dopamine. All of the chemicals that videos and things release.
Okay.
Right? you're over here. If I was to make a TikTok and I watched Ronaldinho in his prime doing something freaking crazy, I know that makes me feel happy. I know that makes me feel good, and I'm like, oh wow, Ronaldinho, I remember this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, that TikTok algorithm would be fucking me with all these like soccer videos and like, you know, like it's crazy. It is insane.
Okay,
It's scary.
Okay. So it's like it's instant gratification. That's what it's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really terrifying how we can feel good, right? You didn't do anything productive, yet you still feel like you've accomplished something.
So do you think it might be a cycle where you forget about all your problems and all that while you're distracted? You get off of it. If you have that realization that like, man, I didn't do anything productive today. But then if you just start binging again, you forget about how unproductive you were.
Damn, that's
Does it kind
a
of
self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like now.
That's the type of person you are, though. Are you reflective in that sort? Because some people don't realize what they're doing. You know, if they don't reflect on what just happened with these 2 hours of my life, they'll do it again and they'll do it again, and it becomes a habit and it becomes a personality trait.
Yeah. I know that, Edwin, I know you have a lot of self-restraint because I don't know, do you still do the Instagram thing where you're off for a month and then you're back on for a month?
Yeah, I'm off and on for a month. Yeah. Well, now I had to bring it back. I was fully off.
Mm-hmm.
I was 100% fully off, and I brought it back because of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, refusal to partake in something, like the refusal. I don't buy cookies because I know I'll fuck them up.
or gummy bears,
like gummy bears or anything. I'll eat them like they owe me something. Like that's the reason why I don't buy all these things, because I know that I will eat them.
I do the same.
Like my life depended on them.
I buy every now and then. I buy like a bag of. It's like the minis. It'll be like a Kit Kat Recess combo, and damn, that don't last me a week, and it's like 100 pieces.
That's how I am with fruit snacks. If I open my drawer, it's like a 90 count box. I think the 90 count of wrappers is in my drawer. Yeah, fruit snacks are addicting.
Like you understand that these are the things that affect you, trigger your binging, and like you try to step away. Mm-hmm. You try to not partake in it, which is it's something that a lot of people don't do. It's something that we start living a life of excess, and this is what the podcast, we wanted to get down to it. Do you reflect on these behaviors, and do you feel like, do you guys feel like you live a life of excess in whatever form, in any form?
I would definitely say maybe before, back when like I used to play way more video games. I've definitely stepped away from it. But yeah, there's a time when I just wake up, play a game I'd literally play the game all day, only taking a break to like eat and shower. But like, yeah, that'd be all I'd do.
Well, here's the question I want to ask you personally, Jeff, because I know you. Did you kick playing video games and you started watching people play video games? Did you substitute them?
Possibly. that might be it. Because
you watch a lot of streams, right? You watch more streams than you play.
That's definitely the case now. But it depends, because like the guy I watch now, Penta, I think he's genuinely a funny person. And I watch a lot of GTA RP. So that's kind of like its own television show, right? Because it's like unscripted, and it's just them playing a character in this world that's the story, and it's always evolving. So it's kind of like, I don't really
reality
watch it.
TV.
Yeah, I don't really watch because it's a game. I watch it because I find him entertaining, and it's a story that's developing that I like to watch unfold.
Yeah, so like, for me is I like to be up to date for video games in general, right? And you guys know that I like recommending people based on, and if I know you, I know what you like. I'm like, I guess I'm the algorithm of real life here.
You are.
Where I'm
You gotta
like,
stop.
hey, you guys will really like this video game because I know who you are as a person and I know what you like, and I really like being up to date to all these like new up and coming video games.
Like,
and it's kind of
like the Steam algorithm works hard, but Edwin works harder.
Yeah,
Like I
for sure.
I think Edwin has recommended more good games to me than Steam or any other service has.
I got Jeff hooked on Stardew Valley, which is one of the things that we partook crazy.
And Terraria back in the day. You were the one who convinced me to get it on PS3 or 4, was it?
Yeah. It's one of those things that
So if we talk shit on someone who watches, let's say, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but then we also indulge in reality TV in the form of GTA RP, does that make us any better?
Well, here's the thing, like people talk shit on people who play video games all the time, right? But everyone has a vice. Right? Everyone has a vice. You're playing video games, not doing anything with your day, but they turn around and watch Netflix for 8 hours a day, and it's like, maybe we should just start understanding each other and how we are creatures of habit.
Because at the end of the day, you're each indulging in some form of media. It's just we have a preference. I say we as in the royal we, I suppose. We just have a preference in being in an interactive environment. That's why we play the video games, because we rather, physically be involved.
Yeah. Unless the thing you're into is astrology.
Oh yeah,
then
fuck those people.
Then you're the worst kind of person. So there's the we, and then there's the people who like astrology.
Yeah, fuck those people in particular.
Dude, I mean, that's such a weird way to allow people to be prejudiced. No, it's a prejudice. Like you're a Leo, so you're like this, and then it's just like I mean,
I cringe when I hear that.
Put any other word in front of Leo, and you're all of a sudden you're like you could be racist, you could be prejudiced, you could be all these different things, but we're okay with astrology.
Oh my god, I'm just a Gemini. I'm sorry.
I'm just a piece of shit right now because Mercury is in retrograde, and I just can't right now. Jesus, it's just like damn. But
hey, we're all fucked, man. This is first world problems.
We just all have to check our impulses and understand what makes us tick. And that's one of those things that reflection of yourself is very important, because you could be getting that body you've always wanted, but your ass is on the chair eating Oreos and watching The Office again for the 60th time.
Yeah.
Say it, Jeff. Say it.
Liking The Office is not a personality trait. Get over it, people.
It is. And with that, we'll leave you guys. And this has been another episode of Tilted Not Stirred, where we were especially tilted.
What do you got for the people today,
I guess,
Edwin?
Oh, recommendation. Shit, yeah. Check out Mark Rebier. I'm late to the party. I know the TikTokers have been really into it for a while. I'm extremely late. This guy's videos have 2 million views, but if you are not one of them, it's MarcRibillet. It's Mark Rebier on YouTube. He pretty much improvises music, and it's actually amazing. So yeah, you can reach us at our website, tilted.stirred.com, where you can find links to our Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. You can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
And remember to join us and share your questions, voice your thoughts on what has you tilted, not stirred.
Deuces.